Hello students, in this lecture we will learn entity relationship design issues. I Professor D.V. Kosti welcome you for this lecture. So let us start. So the contents of this lecture: use of entity sets versus attributes, use of entity sets versus relationship sets, binary versus n-ary relationship sets, and at last placement of relationship attributes. So let us see one by one what this exactly is. So the first is use of entity sets versus attributes. Now there may be some situations whether we will be in confusion that for a particular thing whether we should consider it as attribute or whether we should consider it as entity set. So such a confusion, such a problem, such a ambiguity is to be removed. Now this is called as design issue. Let us see the example. The employee entity set with attribute employee name. Now, first entity set is named as employee, whose attribute is employee name. It is okay. The telephone entity set with attributes telephone number and location. So one more entity set is there as a telephone. And at last we have the relationship set employee telephone, which denote the association between employees and the telephones that they have. So this association is given by the relationship set employee telephone. Now the question is whether telephone number is to be considered as entity set or telephone number is to be considered as attribute. Now you can imagine for a particular employee entity set we can give the attributes as name of the employee and telephone number of the employee. So that is also possible. Now here you can say the telephone number is attribute, and at the same time you can also say that telephone number can also be a entity set. Now here you can see two natural questions thus arise. What constitutes an attribute and what constitutes an entity set? Unfortunately, there are no simple answers for this. The distinction mainly depends on the structure of real-world enterprise being modeled and on the semantics associated with the attribute in question. Now, if what this slide is indicating, it is totally dependent on you what to consider telephone number. You can consider entity set if that particular application, that particular model requires it as an entity set. If that particular model is okay by considering telephone number as attribute, then you can consider it as attribute. Let us take an example. We have a list of students where we want the name of the student and telephone number of a student. In this case, we can consider telephone number as attribute because we are not at all worried about where that telephone number is used, what is the location of that telephone, and other things which are related to the telephone number. Now consider the same example. Consider one more example as there is a record of criminals with the police branch. Now the record of criminals, if there is a record, then telephone number instead of considering attribute must be considered as entity set because with the name of a particular criminal, the telephone number, if made as entity set, then this telephone number itself can have attribute as the operator provider, then location of that particular mobile number or telephone number at that moment, and many more attributes can be given for the telephone number. So I have given both examples here for telephone number as attribute and telephone number as entity set. So this is the first design issue, use of entity set versus attributes. Next is use of entity sets versus relationship sets. Now we have to see that whether it is better to use entity set or whether it is better to use relationship set. Let us go through the slide. It is not always clear whether an object best expresses by an entity set or a relationship set. We assume that a bank loan model as an entity, an alternative model to loan as an entity, but rather as a relationship between customers and branches with loan number and amount as descriptive attributes. Each loan is represented by a relationship between a customer and a branch, 1:1. So if you are saying as entity sets we are going to use, 1:1 is to be considered. Now the next line will make you the idea more clear. We cannot represent conveniently a situation in which several customers hold a loan jointly. In this case, it is not easy for the conditions which are other than 1:1. To make you more clear, I will annotate the things. We assume that bank loan is modeled as an entity. So we assume loan is an entity. Now, what is the alternative? Alternative is not to model loan as an entity. Instead of entity, model the loan as a relationship between customers and branches. Now, with loan number and amount as descriptive attributes, each loan is represented by a relation between a customer and branch. Now, instead of bank loan as an entity, we are using it as a relationship. Then each loan represented by a relationship between a customer and a branch. So loan is a relationship between customer and branch. So in this case, 1:1 is there. That means a customer is having a loan in a particular branch. One customer, one loan. Now, such a type of thing, that means considering an entity into a relationship, is not possible in a situation where customers hold a loan jointly. That means more than one customers hold the loan, only one loan. So many to one is not possible. That's why at that time an entity will be best option for the loan. Clear? The slides are the concepts are little complicated. I have tried to make it much more simpler. Read the slides or re-listen the video to get the idea more clear. Okay. In short, I will say entity sets or relationship sets. Again, it depends on the situation. If we say we can consider a particular model as a relationship set, then 1:1 is possible. But if 1:1 is not there, then better to consider entity set instead of relationship set. Let us go to the next slide. Let me clear this. Okay. Binary versus n-ary relationship sets. Now, as we know, we have seen binary relationship sets like 1:1, one-to-many, many-to-one, and many-to-many. But apart from binary, there are n-ary relationships also, like ternary, more than 3, and likewise that. So, relationships in a database are often binary. Some relationships that appear to be non-binary could be better represented by several binary relationships. So if binary relationships are shown, it is easy to understand, but if it is ternary, it takes a lot of time to understand. Now, let us see the example. So this slide will make clear whether we should prefer binary relationship sets or n-ary relationship sets. Now, see the example carefully. For instance, one could create a ternary relationship parent relating to his or her child, that is mother and father. However, such a relationship could also be represented by two binary relationships, mother and father, one relation, relating to child to his or her mother and father separately. So mother and father, one binary relationship, and another binary relationship will be child. Whose child is that? Mother's child and father separately. So using the two relationships, mother and father, allows us record a child's mother, even if we are not aware of the father's identity. Getting, I have make it intentionally bold. Using the two relationships, mother and father, allows us record a child's mother, even if we are not aware of the father's identity. A null value would be required if Turner relationship parent is used. So instead of using null value, better use two different binary relationship sets. Using a binary relationship sets is always preferable in this case. I hope you got this. To make you more clear, read the example again. There is a situation in which three different entities are there. One is mother, another is father, and one more is child. So this can be Turner relationship. Child belongs to mother, child belongs to father. If mother is there for a particular child and father is not there, then that father's entry has to be made as a null. But instead of that, we'd have two different tables, child name and mother name, and child name and father name. We will have two different binary relationship sets, child and mother and child and father. In this case, if a particular child is having mother name and not having the father name, then there will not be any relation between a child and father name. Got it? So this seems again complicated. That's why it is called as design issues. So while designing any ER diagram, binary relationships are always preferred instead of n-ary relationship sets. Let us move to the last, placement of relationship attributes. Now, we know the cardinalities as just discussed right now, one-to-one and other than that. The cardinality ratio of relationship can affect the placement of relationship attributes. Thus, attributes of one-to-one or one-to-many relationship sets can be associated with one of the participating entity sets rather than with the relationship set. Now, this again is a little bit complicated and nothing understood out of this. So let us take the example directly. Now here you can see that depositor is a relationship set. We have two entity sets. One is customer entity set and another is account entity set, and relation is depositor. So customer is depositor for this particular account number and access date. Now here you can give the access date to the depositor also, but giving the access date to the depositor will be will not be allowed if we are giving the access date attribute to the account directly. You can read the heading here, access date as attribute of the account entity set. So access date can be attribute for this account and access date can also be attribute for depositor. But when it is in the previous slide we have seen, I will show you that. Here you can see one-to-one and one-to-many. If this is the situation, then we can give access date as an attribute to the account only. Because of this, what happened? One-to-one is possible and one-to-many is possible. How come? Let us see. One-to-many for John is accessing account A101 on 24th May 1996, and John is accessing the account A201 on 17th June 1996. So this is one-to-many. Now Smith is accessing account 8215 on 3rd June 1996 is one-to-one. So one-to-one and one-to-many is possible if access date is an attribute given to the account only. Let us see the second scenario. I will clear this. Now, as we just discussed now, one-to-one and one-to-many is possible. But what if many-to-many is there and many-to-one is there? At that time, this access date attribute cannot be given to the account because it will be very much difficult to show that particular relationship many-to-many and many-to-one. Now here you can see Johnson is accessing the account Johnson is the depositor accessing the account on 24th May 1996 and the account number is A101. But here Smith is accessing account on 3rd June as well as on 21st June. You can see here 3rd June A215 and 21st June 201. So you can see here many, more than one accounts, many, to here many. Got it? So if there is a situation many to many and there is a situation like many to one is also possible, because see here many to one. So this is one account A21822 accessed by both Turner and Lindsay. So the situations where many to many and many to one is to be represented at that time, access date as an attribute of the depositor relationship set. It should not be attribute set of account. Got it? Now, what was the heading for this particular bit? Placement of relationship attributes. Now just we have seen where to place the relationship attribute. Now depositor was the relationship attribute and accessed on the account access date was the attribute. Now we have the choice where to keep that attribute, either at customer entity set or with that particular relationship attribute only. So that depends on the situation again. Got it? So what we have seen in this lecture, we have seen use of entity set versus attributes. We have seen use of entity sets versus relationship sets. We have seen binary versus n relationship sets. And we have also seen placement of relationship attributes. I hope you cleared everything. This is what the concluding remark just I told you. Slide credit as usual I told using the book Database System Concepts 4th edition. And this is the end of the lecture. Happy learning. Subscribe the channel to get all the notifications of new videos. Thank you.